What is up, widows? I am NAB Cobra F1, and this is my take on the hashtag KillCancerNotPeople. Now, I was inspired on Twitter today. I got online and I've seen this trending everywhere. I see all these hashtags everywhere from all the people that I follow, the people in what I consider my part of the community, or the knifing community. I got real big into the knifing community. I started following Tomahawk Tater, and then I got into Epic Gaming and Wiggy the Hut. If you're not following this guy on Twitter, go and follow this guy on Twitter right now, and go check out his explanation video as to why he started this hashtag, why it created him. But I felt inspired to get on here and tell you my own personal story as to why it made such an impact on me today. Why, as I'm sitting in my office, I'm like, I'm gonna go home tonight and I'm gonna record me a commentary and I'm gonna post it up onto his channel, and you know, just because it just seemed like the right thing to do. So anyways, if you've never watched any of my videos before, never heard any of my commentaries, you don't know anything about me. So let me start off by telling you that I work in a funeral home. I deal with death on a daily basis, and that shit gets rough from time to time. And the hard part about it is that cancer is something that, whether you know it or not, it has affected you, and it does affect you. It affects you every single day. We have certain procedures and stuff that we have to follow. Whenever a person dies, they'll call in. A lot of times it's from nurses or hospitals and things like that, and then you'll have to take all the information down and you pass it on to the people that, you know, are going to be meeting with the families to make arrangements for their funerals. Well, the other day I got a call, and it was from a hospice nurse, and she said, hey, you know, we've had somebody pass away, and the family has indicated that they want to use your funeral home as their services. I'm like, okay, got my little sheet, no big deal, it's just another death, I deal with it every day. And you may be sitting there, you're like, how can you say that the death is no big deals? Well, for me personally, their name's on a piece of paper. Because I don't meet directly with families. Very rarely do I go to funerals or stand services or meet with these families or anything like that. So for me, it's just another name on a piece of paper. But this one got to me. This one got to me real bad. We're going through this field. I'm reading off the questions that I'm supposed to ask. I'm taking the information that I'm supposed to take. And then we got to the point where I'm supposed to just start asking who the person is that calling. Are you a member of the family? Are you a nurse? You know what? Why are you calling us? And when I asked her to spell her name for me, because it was a different name, I didn't really know how to spell it, is when I first noticed that she was getting real choked up about this. And she apologized, and I said to myself in my head, I'm like, what are you apologizing for? And I kind of ignored it. And then as we continued to go through these questions, it got harder and harder and harder for her. And I'm like, ma'am, are you okay? And she's like, well, you know, this gentleman that passed away, he was only 40 years old, and him and his wife both had cancer, and his wife passed away 2 months ago, and it's just really hard because we got to know him really well whenever his wife was in here, and then we got to know him really well when he's been in and out of here for the past 9 months, and they've got kids and all this. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? Let's just go back to the regular questions now, because I don't need to be crying while I'm at work right now. All right, just back to the regular questions. I didn't actually say that because that would have been a douche move to say, but that's what I'm sitting in my mind thinking. I'm like, this is another family, another entire family that is being affected by this. My father, I'm 24 years old. I'll be 25 in March. My father just turned 52. So, sitting here and thinking about that, if let's say, for instance, my father had passed away from cancer whenever he was 40, I would have been 13 years old. 13 years old. And so I'm sitting here, and they've got mother and father. Both of them die within 4 months of each other, and they do have children. At worst, the children are 24 years old. Assuming, you know, 16-year-old pregnancies. At best, these kids are like 8, 9, 10 years old. How does that not get into your head that this is something that's affecting people? And I get that gun control is a hot issue right now, but it's a hot issue because something bad happened. Because some dude walked into a school with a gun and said, fuck you and fuck the world, I'm going to do what I want. Do I think that that's an issue that needs to be addressed? Maybe. But it's like closing the barn door after the horse already got out. Okay? You can set up all these plans. You can spend millions of dollars on gun control. If you actually sit back and look at it, number of deaths wise and number of people affected, cancer affects more people than gun control does. Or lack thereof, if you will. It's like Wiggy said in his video, 1 in 3 people are affected by cancer. 1 in 3 people are affected by cancer. Okay? Whether it be directly somebody you know, a family member, or something like that that has cancer or had cancer, passed away from cancer, or beat cancer, 1 in 3 people are affected. Can you honestly sit there and tell me that you know somebody? You know, let's say just for argument's sake that you know 30 people. Can you tell me that 10 of them have been affected by a shooting death or a massive tragedy, a massive shooting tragedy? No, I can't. I mean, maybe you can, and if you can, that's horrific, and I'm deeply, you know, sorrowful for whatever situation that you or the people that you know have gone through. But for the majority of people, cancer is a much bigger issue. It is. My aunt died when I was in 2nd grade. My stepmother beat cancer twice. Okay? My roommate's mother has been diagnosed. There's somebody in my life that is really important to me that has been diagnosed. Now, whether or not that has a humongous impact on you guys, it shouldn't necessarily, because that's my life. That's what I deal with. But it affects you. And all this is right here, all this is raise awareness for it. Because more people are affected by cancer than by quote-unquote lack of gun control. And just one little final note, every gun used in that shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary was legally purchased. Well, I am NAB Cobra F1. If this commentary meant something to you, go ahead and leave a like rating on it. Subscribe to this new channel right here and get this trending on Twitter. Hashtag KillCancerNotPeople. Get the word out. Get Congress excited about it. Get excited about it. Get your friends excited about it. Let everybody know that this is what we need to be focusing on, if you agree with it. I'm out, guys. Have a good one.